So this is Pearl. And if you're lucky enough to not even know who she is, she currently has the biggest red pill channel on YouTube. But the good news is nobody is currently watching her channel. And this is a sign that some of the men who used to support her and simp for her not long ago.
Stop it. No more simp. You've simped enough.
Are waking up to the fact that maybe they shouldn't take relationship advice from a woman who has zero relationship experience. We're talking about a woman who cannot get a man. She's not been in a relationship. She's never been married.
Did you know that she's never been in an actual relationship or has lived with a man? And she gives marriage advice?
And she's always trashing older women. But Pearl herself is getting closer to 30. And maybe that's the reason why her channel is dying. Her audience is realizing that she's getting old. She is becoming the older woman that she's always trashing.
At 35, you cannot compete with 22-year-olds. I looked at the most beautiful 35-year-old women that I know. Their skin still sags, they still got light wrinkles, or they got a Botox forehead, either or, you know, whatever, pick your poison.
What the f is this piece of sh?
Congratulations, Pearl. I guess you were right. Men do prefer younger women.
You're a victim.
And recently her channel got demonetized, but while everybody was celebrating, there is something that flew under the radar. See, the reason why she got demonetized is because she made a video last year where she was interviewing people about abortion. But it gets worse because amongst the people she interviewed were teenage girls. The parent of the children asked her to take down the video and Pearl refused. So they escalated the issue and now YouTube showed her who truly is the boss. But what I want to talk about is the topic of discussion in that video, which was her body, her choice, his wallet, his choice. And I think you guys know where this is going. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Women, we have the right, if we get pregnant, we have the right not to be mothers, right?
Yeah.
Should men then, in the name of equality, have the right not to be fathers? Their wallet, their choice. They can sign off on child support. Why?
Right, no, because if you had sex with a woman, you fully know well that one of the consequences is that you will fully pregnant her and you have a child. So you have to look after the child as that's your responsibility. Your sperm, your responsibility.
Okay. So when it comes to this topic of her body, her choice, and his wallet, his choice, she's implying that men should be able to walk away scot-free, meaning no child support, none of that. No accountability whatsoever. And this is where I want to talk about accountability. This argument that we should be dissolving people of the responsibility, the consequence of the action. It should be about holding people accountable, not the other way around. We shouldn't be having a conversation about, well, if they don't get to be responsible, then I shouldn't get to be responsible as well. And I'm just baffled by that because it's just such a childish way of thinking. Later, she actually talks about what happened when the woman forces herself or trick the man and gets pregnant just because she wants child support.
They're incentivizing women to get kids off of rich guys. So I had a guy that sat down earlier and he said, I was rich. And this girl trapped me with a baby because she said she was on birth control.
And I'm like, well, this is a good argument. Yeah, let's talk about that because it is an issue, yes. But can we agree that it is the exception to the rule? Because generally speaking, women don't do that. And it pointed out a flaw and a bit of hypocrisy in her arguments is that when she has an argument, a lot of the time she always says, well, we're talking about the rule, not the exception to the rule.
So it's it's really hard to have conversations with women without them bringing up the exception to the rule.
But in this argument, it seemed as though she's really much focusing on the exception to the rule, which I'm like, well, which is it gonna be? Is it the exception to the rule? Are you gonna use the exception to the rule when it's convenient to you? But when people do that, it's not that fair. Let's play this game then. What happened when the woman, tricked the dad or the man into getting pregnant? Is that an issue? And I'm like, yeah, I think it is an issue. That is a terrible person for sure. Well, then let me play your game as well. What happened when the man tricks the woman into getting pregnant? What happened when he lies about putting condom on or he pokes a hole in the condom? What about that? Are we gonna have a discussion about that as well? Well, no, obviously not, because that goes against her argument. This issue of abortion and paternity and maternity fraud, it should be about holding people accountable. It shouldn't be about dissolving people of their responsibilities. And I think that generally speaking, when she talks about this, she really misses the point on that. You guys let me know what you think in the comment. Let's have a discussion about this because I might be wrong and maybe there is something that I'm missing out of all this.